show the pace.
Let's take a stroll down memory lane. The date is the 3rd of July 2014 and it's a warm, sunny Thursday. Barack Obama is President of the United States and David Cameron is the UK's Prime Minister. Ghost tops the charts for X Factor protege Ella Henderson, and the World Cup is taking place in Brazil, a tournament Germany would go on to win for the 4th time. It's sad times for DVD fans as blockbuster video stores are closing down across the UK due to the rise of streaming services such as Netflix. People up and down the country are cooling down by pouring ice over each other's heads. Remember the Ice Bucket Challenge? In horse racing, Knight of Thunder and Miss France have won the Guineas, while Tagruda and Australia have won the Oaks and the Derby. But at Newbury, a horse called Judicial is making his first ever racecourse appearance for trainer Roger Charlton. Fast forward 8 years and much has changed, but one thing that remains is Judicial's presence on the racecourse.
Judicial, who's forging clear. It'll be back-to-back Queensferry Stakes victories for Judicial.
Now a 10-year-old and closing in on his 50th racecourse appearance, he's trained here at Star Cottage Stables in Norton by husband and wife team Steve and Julie Camacho as he prepares for a tilt at the All-Weather Championships sprint final on Good Friday. Julie, this old horse really is part of the family.
He is. He's been an absolute star for us. And, you know, we look round with 50 horses and, you know, the majority, it's down to Judicial. You know, he's been, yeah, we've had him since a 3-year-old and he's been, you know, he's part of the furniture. It'll be a big hole when he gets retired.
Well, maybe there's a few more chapters to be written before then. He's a 10-year-old now and he effectively starts his season in earnest at Newcastle on Good Friday.
He does, yeah, and to be fair, he hasn't got, for a 10-year-old sprinter, he hasn't got a lot of miles on the clock, you know. And yeah, he seems in great form, he's as enthusiastic as ever, and yeah, we're happy with him.
Steve, he had a prep run effectively up at Newcastle just recently. That was on the back of another wind operation.
We were happy with him in his prep run. He gave Venturis £3 because we're still carrying a penalty for his listed race last year. And also, we had a messy fortnight with him before the race. He got a small abscess and he missed one gallop. So we were really pleased on the whole, Simon. You know, it served its purpose for his 3rd run for qualification. And yeah, onwards and upwards, hopefully.
And we see this morning, he looks $1 million. He's in great shape, isn't he?
He's an enthusiast. Jules made the point, he's run 48 times this horse. He's not a high mileage horse. You know, and his enthusiasm for life is wonderful. He's a pleasure to have around. And, you know, he just makes our job so much easier now. I think we've got a routine that works for him. And we just stick to it and try and keep everything as simple as we can.
There have been so many highlights with this horse over the years. A few races spring to mind. In particular, I think the win in the listed Churchill Stakes at Lingfield. It was one of the most spectacular all-weather performances I've ever seen. He was literally out the back turning for home. And he sprouted wings that day to win, didn't he?
He did, yeah. It gave us all a massive thrill that day because he wasn't in the picture and then all of a sudden you could just see his noseband poking through and then next minute his head and yeah, it was a massive thrill.
Judicial flying from last to first. Judicial has taken the Golden Rose.
Now, he's no stranger to Newcastle, of course. He's won at a pretty high level there. He's won the Group 3 Chip Chase over the same course and distance as the final. That was a pretty smart performance as well, wasn't it?
It was, but very eerie, wasn't it? Because there was no crowds or anything, so it'd be totally different on Good Friday with crowds and everything. But yeah, it was a massive achievement by him.
Julie, the All-Weather Championships finals day, of course, moving to Newcastle for the very first time. Is that a positive move, do you think?
Yeah, massive positive for him anyway, yeah. And for us, it's a lot easier to go up to Newcastle than it is to go down to Lingfield. Lingfield for us is overnight, and so, yeah, it's definitely a lot easier for us.
Got a feeling, Julie, if you could win it at Newcastle, it's going to be rather busy in the winner's enclosure because this horse has quite a lot of owners, doesn't he?
He does. He's owned and bred by Elite Racing, who have been absolute massive supporters of ours. You know, they've been with us since we started training. And for him to be homebred, it's even better for them. You know, it's lovely when you can see them as foals and yearlings and then progressing onto the racecourse, especially when they end up as good as him.
Nicola, I can see that you two are the best of mates.
Yes, most of the time. Sometimes he likes to push me around a bit, but we don't mind that.
Take me back to the day when he first arrived, and he did arrive here with a bit of a reputation.
Well, I didn't know anything about this reputation. Nobody sort of let me in on the secret, so he was very keen. He still is a bit keen, but he was runaway bolt keen, weren't you? But we figured it out. I did a lot of flat work in the school with him, just dressage, and really got him, because he used to throw his head up quite badly, and then over time he just settled and learnt to. I literally used to have to ride him nose to tail up the gallops with the other horse, just so I had some guide of speed, because if he was in front it was just flat out. And slowly we crept further and further away, and now you're pretty good, are you?
He came with not a great reputation at all, and I think they thought he'd be better in a smaller yard. And you know, he gets turned out every day. He goes out with Makana every day, and you know that keeps him calm. And he, as you say, he just loves his routine, and he's easy. He's just easy to train now. He's not. You don't make any special arrangements for him. He just goes in the string, and yeah, Nicola rides him every day, and we've very rarely ever had him up sides. And that's how Nicola just follows another one up, and you know she's just 100% confident in him. I mean, she was still riding him at 6 months pregnant, you know, so that's how much she trusts him, and they trust each other, and they've got a great rapport together. And she's been with us a long time. I think she's been with us 16 years. Yeah. She's put up with us for 16 years. So.
Wow. And you've actually worked together for, as you say, for well over 20 years.
Yeah. And we're still married.
Husband and wife. It's still married. That's got to say something, hasn't it?
25 years this year, so yeah.
Was it love at first sight, Julie?
No. Don't think so.
It grew on you very slowly.
It's fairly on off. I didn't have a lot going for me, in fairness. No, I don't quite know. She ended up with me. I'm sure there's better options.
So I take my hat off to anybody that does this on their own. I think it's a massive, you know, to do it on your own is a massive, because you need somebody to talk to, and just to, you know, when you're having a bad day and, you know, owners are giving you some hassle, or something goes wrong, or, you know, and you take it personally.
Yeah, so you're a great comfort and great support to each other, Steve, in effect.
Yeah, you have to be. I do think we've reached a stage now, though, Simon, you've seen most things to a degree. This is a stressful job, and you tend to, you know, take it out on the people closest to you. But, you know, I think we've got a really strong bond, and that's probably the family's always the best thing in your life, and, you know, and then the horses come next.
And I think we're very lucky that we're supported by such wonderful owners. You know, we've had them for years, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, most of the owners have stuck around, and they're a real solid bunch. They get disappointed like we all do, but we share the disappointment. You know, we feel it. I think to get all the story, you'd need to be here before Judicial arrived, when there was a dozen horses, Simon. And, you know, what he's done is phenomenal, you know, so, you know, we're so grateful.
He's still very cautious of new people. He soon gets upset if something changes. He had to stay in a couple of days because he had an abscess in his foot, and he went back to baby naughty Jude, who were giving him a pick of grass, and he was climbing in the air, and so that character's still in there, but generally now he's just a gentleman, really,
and he's in
a nice person.
tip-top form for the big race.
Yes, fingers crossed, touch wood, everything, yeah.
Now, I know that you don't often go racing, do you? So
I didn't used to, but I have started going. They talked me into going. I'm quite nervous and anxious person, so I decided that it jinxes it, so I never watched.
But
just stand at the racecourse with my back to the track.
Well, let's hope things change, because you are going to be at Newcastle on Good Friday.
I will be there, but I still won't watch.
Really?
I still turn. Yeah.
You're going to go and lock yourself in the toilet?
I just stand with my back to it and put my fingers in my ears.
And Judicial is lengthening his stride and drawing away. Judicial makes all of the running.
And Judicial, though, has a little bit too much class and draws away.
Judicial gets a passage through on the inside to go and score.
Here's Judicial, though, down the outside, staking his claim. And he begins to clear away. No arguments here. Judicial is firmly in command.
The winner is Judicial.
Is this his swan song season? He's 10 now.
Yeah, I think you're heading towards it. We never really discuss it because, for the exact reason you spoke about earlier, his enthusiasm and low mileage. So he'll tell us. And the main thing for me is he retires in one piece and has a happy and healthy life, you know. Deserves that.
Got a sneaking feeling that you're going to miss him quite a bit when he goes.
Yeah, definitely I will. Gonna cry now. No, yeah, it will. We've been together. Well, it feels like we've been together for a very long time now, so it'll be very strange, won't it, buddy? Yeah, hopefully not just yet.
Well, let's hope there's plenty more cuddles still to come. I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a good season.
Yeah, I'm sure he will as well. He's definitely got a lot of fight still in there, aren't you, bud? Yes. You want to go and show him what you're made of, don't you?
You know, he's got our name up there in lights, and you know, we owe him everything, to be honest.
He's opened lots of doors, and you know, we obviously love him dearly. It's good stuff. You know, it'd be nice to have a big happy ending, wouldn't it?